Let me tell you something that will make you uncomfortable. The aspirant who scored 168 marks in ethics last year and the aspirant who scored 98. They both read the same books. They both solved the same previous year questions. They both attended coaching classes. So what was the difference? Just one thing. And I am going to show you exactly what it is in the next 15 minutes. If you are preparing for UPSC Mains and GS Paper 4 is giving you sleepless nights, stay till the end because the most important insight is in the last 3 minutes. Hi, I am Rahul Tajnekar, your own UPSC mentor and coach, director of Rahul Sir's IAS Academy Nagpur and author of the book Ethics, Integrity and Aptitude, an ultimate guide to score 160 plus marks in GS Paper 4. I have appeared for the UPSC interview 3 times and over 14 years, I have guided hundreds of aspirants through this journey. I know exactly where aspirants lose marks in this paper and more importantly, I know exactly how to get them back. In my last video, I talked about how GS Paper 4 is the most scoring and most misunderstood paper in UPSC Mains. If you haven't watched that video yet, the link is in the description below. Watch it after this one because it gives you the complete big picture of how to approach ethics preparation. Today we go deep into the one framework that will permanently change how you write ethics answers. Let us begin. First, let me tell you exactly why aspirants fail ethics paper. It is not lack of knowledge. In my 14 years of experience, the aspirants who fail ethics actually know more theory than those who pass. They have read lexicon. They have read ethics textbooks. They can define virtue ethics, deontological ethics and consequentialism in their sleep. But they fail. Why? Because they write ethical theory. And UPSC wants ethical application. That is the entire difference right there. When UPSC asks, what is the role of conscience in ethical decision making? The average aspirant writes a textbook definition of conscience. 3 paragraphs of pure theory. The examiner reads it and gives 5 out of 10. The smart aspirant writes a crisp definition, adds a real-world administrative scenario, uses 3 to 4 powerful keywords, connects it to a moral thinker and ends with a value statement. Same knowledge, completely different answer, and a gap of 8 to 10 marks on a single question. Multiply that across 20 questions, you will understand why 2 aspirants with the same preparation end up with a 70-mark difference in their final score. Now, before I give you the framework, if you're finding this useful, hit the like button right now and subscribe if you have not already. I release content like this every single week and you do not want to miss what is coming next. Now, let me give you what I call the idea framework for ethics answers. This framework is the backbone of my book, Ethics, Integrity and Aptitude. Every chapter of that book is built around this structure and every answer writing section in every chapter uses this exact approach. I stands for introduce the concept with a crisp definition using high value keywords. D stands for demonstrate with a real example, ideally from Indian governance or administration. E stands for evaluate the ethical dimensions, mention the conflict, the dilemma or the value at stake. A stands for assert a value-based conclusion. End every answer with a strong moral or governance principle. 4 steps, every answer, every topic, every time. Let me show you this with a real previous year question from 2023. The question was, what do you understand by the term moral intuition? How does it influence ethical decision making? 10 marks, 150 words. Most aspirants wrote 3 to 4 lines of definition and stopped. Using the idea framework, here is how you build the answer. I. Moral intuition is a pre-reflective moral response, an immediate instinctive judgment about right and wrong that precedes conscious reasoning. It functions as an internal ethical compass. D. When a civil servant witnesses a colleague accepting a bribe, the immediate discomfort felt before any rational analysis, that visceral sense that something is wrong, is moral intuition at work. E. While moral intuition is a powerful guide, it has limitations. It can be shaped by cultural bias, personal experience, and emotional state. Therefore, it must be balanced with rational ethical reasoning and constitutional values. A. In governance, moral intuition serves as the first signal of ethical breach. But sound administrative decisions require this intuition to be validated through reasoned moral judgment and adherence to public service values. That is a complete, structured, marks-fetching answer, written in under 8 minutes, using the IDEA framework. Now notice the keywords I used: pre-reflective moral response, ethical compass, intuitive cognition, constitutional values, public service values. These are not complicated words, but they signal to the examiner that you understand the subject at a deeper level. Here is the mathematics of keywords. Half a mark extra per answer across 20 questions equals 10 bonus marks. In UPSC, 10 marks is a rank jump of 40 to 60 positions. That is the power of writing better, not knowing more. Now let me talk about the chapter-wise structure of my book, because this is where your preparation becomes surgical. Every chapter in ethics, integrity, and aptitude follows the same structure. Concept explanation with keywords, real-world examples, previous year questions mapped to that chapter from 2013 to 2025, practice questions at 150 words, practice case studies at 250 words, and a dedicated section on how to write high-quality marks-fetching answers on that specific topic. This means when you finish chapter 1 on ethics and human interface, you do not just understand ethics. You know exactly how to write about ethics in a way the examiner rewards. That is not a textbook. That is a marks conversion engine. Both the ebook and paperback are available. Link is in the description below. If you're serious about crossing 160 in GS paper 4, this is the one resource that gives you the complete system. Now let me give you the 3 most important case study principles, because case studies are 125 marks out of 250. They make or break your ethics paper score. Principle 1. You are always an administrator, not an individual. In every case study, you are placed in a position of authority. District collector, superintendent of police, municipal commissioner. UPSC is testing your administrative ethics, not your personal morality. Principle 2. Balance 3 things simultaneously: legal compliance, ethical principles, and practical governance. An answer that is only legally correct scores average marks. An answer that balances all 3 scores top marks. Principle 3. Show process before conclusion. The examiner does not just want to know what you decide. They want to know how you decided. Document your thought process. Show that you explored legitimate alternatives before acting. That maturity is what separates 110 from 160. So to summarize everything we covered today, ethics paper failure is not a knowledge problem. It is a writing problem. Use the idea framework. Introduce, demonstrate, evaluate, assert for every answer. Use high-value keywords deliberately. Half a mark per answer adds up to 10 bonus marks across the paper. Approach case studies as an administrator, balancing law, ethics, and governance simultaneously. And follow the chapter-wise PYQ pattern in my book to know exactly where to invest your preparation energy. In my next video, I'm going to break down the most asked yet least prepared topic in GS paper 4, emotional intelligence. 7 years out of the last 10, UPSC has asked questions from this chapter. I will give you the complete answer writing framework for emotional intelligence answers with keywords, examples, and a live PYQ demonstration. Make sure you are subscribed so you do not miss it. It goes live this week. And one more thing, if you want daily current affairs to go alongside your ethics preparation, download the Rahul Sir Next Gen Bureaucrats app. It is free. Daily current affairs is waiting for you there. Link is in the description. No excuses. All the best. Keep writing. Keep preparing.